50th, 20th anniversary, Pokemon! Woo! Yeah, Pokemon is almost as old as I am, which is really terrifying. For this review, I didn't want to count down my top 10 favorite things about Pokemon, or favorite episodes, or favorite movies, or anything like that. I just wanted to talk about Pokemon, and how much I love it, and all of my favorite things about it. Let's do this. Pokeball, go! It's easier for guys, because they have shorter hair. I caught me a Pokemon. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about Pokemon. 20 years ago today, Pokemon came out with their first 2 games, and since then it's become a worldwide phenomenon. Back in the 90s, the only way I personally could watch Pokemon would be to buy the VHSs. Same thing with Power Rangers. It was not airing on any of the channels that we had in my house, so I would have to either rent them for Blockbuster or buy them at the store. That was the only way I knew what was going on. So now that we have the internet and Netflix, I can watch all of them. It was wonderful to see all of my old characters and, sort of reconnect with the show. This was a couple months ago, really. And now it's the 20th anniversary, and it's so exciting that it's been around as long as it has. I've only watched through the Orange Islands and a bit of Johto. I think the last episode I watched was the episode with Larvitar, where they got him for the first time, and it's so sad how he has to get rid of some of them, like Squirtle and Charmander and Bulbasaur. They all eventually go away. Well, Charmander evolves to Charizard, but Squirtle and Bulbasaur are left, and then by the time they finally leave, of course it's so sad because they've been there the longest on the team, and now it's just gotten completely out of control. We've been through several new friends and several new hats. Oh my gosh, he's gone through more hats, and I get that those hats are part of the new region that he's catching Pokemon in, but this was Ash's hat. He sent in a bunch of box tops to get this hat, and it is his most prized possession. He goes through the entire series, and no matter what happens, he always has that hat. Now he's got new hats. Where did he get the new hats? Why did he get the new hats? It bothers me. I don't know why it bothers me so much. I don't like change. Because he made such a big deal about it, and then now all of a sudden he has new ones. I mean, it's like Pikachu. It's a part of him. And I always wanted him to end up with Misty. It was very much like Tommy and Kimberly from Power Rangers, where you just knew it was going to happen. Of course it never did, but it was hinted at, and that's all that matters. I also always loved Brock. I could never figure out why he never got a girlfriend, because he's just the sweetest guy. And he cares so much about Pokemon. One of my favorite moments with him is when he's defending Charmander, and he gets so mad and almost actually beats up Charmander's owner who abandoned him, and I love that moment. One of the reasons I think I like Ash so much is because he never gives up. He's persistent and optimistic. He's also very stubborn and hard-headed and can be just downright stupid. I mean, he'll pull out his Pokedex for any Pokemon, and it's dude, you just learned about this Pokemon, last week. But I love how he works so hard to achieve his dream and to become a Pokemon master. I also wouldn't consider myself a purist. There's just the 150 Pokemon, and the first episodes were all that matter, and yada yada. I like the second generation Pokemon. I love Espeon and Umbreon. I love the new evolutions, and, I liked my Silver Pokemon game. As far as the games go, I started with a Pokemon Yellow when I was about 10 years old. I loved how Pikachu would follow you around everywhere. I thought that was great. I liked how it followed the show. My team from it was Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, Onix, Pikachu, and Pidgeot. My ideal team would be Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. Not evolved. I actually replayed Pokemon Yellow recently because my old game got deleted. It was so sad. I was so upset. I had had that game since I was 10 years old. But I recently replayed Pokemon Yellow, and I didn't have the others evolve. I kept stopping them, and so they beat the Elite Four as Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, which was pretty cool, and I felt proud of them. But my ideal team would be Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, Pikachu, Butterfree. I love Butterfree. Ever since I was a kid, I always loved Butterfree. I actually went to a costume party as Butterfree, and I loved that. Vulpix, definitely. Vulpix is one of my favorite Pokemon. I unfortunately don't have any figures of Vulpix, and I've looked. Apparently, it's a lot of people's favorite because you can't find them anywhere. Eevee, I would love to have an Eevee of my own. Not as a Pokemon for battle or anything, just as a companion. And an Espeon. I love Espeon. That would be my ideal team. I know it's more than 6, but it's what I would want. As far as the movies go, the first one is of course the best one. The art style, the action, the plot, the villain, everything about the first movie was as epic as it had been promised to us when going to the theater. It was the first Pokemon movie. Of course, it wouldn't be the last, but it was amazing to see it in theaters, and we were all just so excited about it. And Mewtwo is a great villain. He's not evil, he's just confused, and he doesn't know how to live in a world that created him in a lab. I mean, he doesn't know what to do, what his purpose is. My personal favorite is the 5th one with Latios and Latias. I love this city, that it's very much like Venice. I know it's kind of weird, but I love how Latias has a crush on him. I think it's the cutest thing. I don't care that she is a Pokemon. I think it's adorable. I know it's weird, but it's just so cute. The only question I had with that movie, though, was... What are those? At the end, it's her and 2 other Latios. And I'm like, where did they come from? You know, like, have there always been other Latios? I mean, I have no idea. It was just so confusing. It was a great ending, but why was that a thing? Anyway, I still love it. I love all of the movies through that. The 2000, The Unknown, Pokemon Forever. I know Celebi is pretty annoying, but I do like that Ash forms a relationship with Professor Oak through time travel and everything. I thought that was really cute. It was a neat idea. And then Pokemon Heroes with Latios and Latias. A lot of people think that Pokemon is just for kids, and I can tell you that that is definitely not true. It has a huge adult following. Anyone from any age can play Pokemon, can watch Pokemon, anything Pokemon. Even in the show, they have people of all ages raising and training Pokemon. And I think that's one of the reasons why Pokemon has stayed around for so long. It's timeless. It's something for all ages. And now I can't believe we're up to 700 or more Pokemon. I know that a lot of people, you know, from the 90s, from my generation, are like, back in my day we had 150 Pokemon, and yeah, they said or more to see. Like we had, that was in the song, you had 150 or more. The biggest issue I have is, why didn't we know these guys existed? Like, okay, if we thought that there were 150 Pokemon, why would we not notice all of these other 600? You know, like where did they come from? Were they just all hiding under a rock? I mean, I understand that Professor Oak, you know, lives in his own region, and same with Professor Birch and all the other professors, but it's really impossible for them not to have known about all of these other Pokemon out there in the world. And I know that the show just kept going on, and they had to introduce new characters and new Pokemon and everything, and I understand that, and, you know, incorporate the games and everything, but it still just doesn't make any sense. And I promised myself I wasn't going to rag on the new stuff so much. I think it's great that these kids do have their own Pokemon to kind of grow up with, you know what I mean? Whether they started now with these new Pokemon, or whether they started in the 90s watching them on VHS tapes, these characters will stick with you, and you'll want to revisit them over and over. Because it's gone on for so long, you identify with these characters, and you empathize with them, and you know them. You know, because a lot of us start this when we're so young, to have it continue and to go on, it just goes with you. You carry it forever. You carry those memories of your first Pokemon, or the first episode you watched, the first movie you watched, the first time you cried, the first thing that really made you laugh hysterically about this show. It's one of those things that really is timeless, and it will never leave you for as long as you live. It's wonderful to be celebrating its 20th anniversary, and I'm so happy that you could share it with me. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. Feel free to leave a comment or some fan art or whatever you would like to leave. I would love to hear about your experiences with Pokemon. Come and celebrate 20 years with me. Take care.